forgive y'all for that because y'all knew good and damn well Amaya and Brian did not like each other. Y'all was just pitying that girl. Y'all was sorry for that damn girl. That's why y'all chose that damn girl.
Now, I think Amaya may have missed the point here because a lot of people are fine with the fact that she doesn't want to be friends with Belle-A. She can obviously be friends with whoever she wants. I think the problem is that she didn't communicate anything to Belle-A, and instead of communicating, she exiled her and made her feel excluded from the rest of the group.
It's crazy to see that one of the TikTok princesses, Amaya, is getting ate up on even TikTok these days, which I think means she really screwed up. Listen, Love Island from season 7 was all about how people felt sorry for some of the people on the season, Amaya being one of those biggest people. And at the end of the day, at the end of the season, I was okay with Amaya winning the season, even though I voted for Nick and Olandra. I was fine if it was going to be Amaya because some of the other couples that made the end left a lot to be desired. But it's crazy when you go on more than one season of reality TV, what might happen to your image, although I think Amaya should have known better than acting the way she has coming into this season, because it is crazy to see the people that were her biggest supporters because they felt bad for her on her Love Island season turning on her now. And I mean, she did it to herself. First thing we're going to look at is this interview that actually happened, I believe, a month or two ago, where Amaya is talking about Pepe, and you see that even before the season started and season aired, she was with Iris and Hannah, and it was the villainized Pepe hour already.
Love Island is not who he was at all, and it's kind of scary. Like, I really do feel like it's like a psychopath liar. Like, it's like honestly scary the way he believes his own lies. So yeah, who changed the most was him, and it's sad to see, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Would you guys be open though to having some resolution with him?
Although I actually want to go into a little tangent about Jeremiah first, who's in the video at the end there, because Jeremiah is so fake to me. I've been trying to be patient with Jeremiah on this season, but one of the big things that happened before episodes 3 and 4 even aired on this past week of Beyond the Villa, Iris and Jeremiah unfollowed Belle-A originally when they saw the preview for the episode, and Belle-A was talking about how some of the girls were mean girls and the whole "you can't sit with us" vibe. Jeremiah went along with Iris and unfollowed Belle-A on social media. Jeremiah later followed Belle-A back when he saw that people were actually on Bella's side in the incident, which is how I know that Jeremiah is fake and he just tries to go with the popular opinion since he's been out of the house, and he is much like Belle-A trying to get along with a lot of different people, but he never gets called out for it, it seems. Only Belle and some of the other girls get called out for that. But let's circle back to what Amaya said in this video, that Pepe is this huge liar. Who he was on Love Island wasn't him. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Pepe hasn't lied at all. But the total lack of receipts is why everyone has been so upset with Iris, and Hannah's been dragged into that. And now Amaya too. She ended up in some comments with this Ravenwood girl who I've talked about on this channel before actually, but let's get into this real quick.
Update on the Amaya and Belle-A beef, because Amaya was in my comments last night. So Raven, who it looks like is with Austin or is in his circle somehow, I don't know their tea like that, commented under the video and said production 100% set her up. For Amaya into the chat, she replied to Raven. She said Belle-A could have said no, isn't she a grown woman? And she continued to say yes, continue to go hang out, who cares, right? But if I do not want to grow a friendship with someone who is associated with someone from my past, I can also do that as well.
So first of all, this Ravenwood girl, she was on Oahu Shores, a little known peacock series that I actually did cover on this channel last fallish, I believe. She's usually out here in the social media street. She even commented on a couple of my videos, even though I was calling her the villain of the season, because she was being the villain of the season, even though she did get some redemption in the end. Now it seems as though Raven is maybe dating Austin. That is the rumor out there, which is like, yikes. But you know, Austin's going through his own demons. He has an issue with addiction and all of that. And I guess she's also close to Belle-A, or at least appreciates Belle-A. Clearly from the comments, she must know Belle-A. She's saying that production set Belle-A up and saying that Belle-A doesn't really talk to Brian and Pepe outside of the show like that. Anyway, Amaya's comments here was that Belle-A is grown. She could have said no, saying Belle-A continued to go and hang out, but who cares, right? But if I do not want to grow a friendship with someone who is associated with someone from my past, I can also do that as well. There's just a lot of hypocrisy here from Amaya that more people are calling her out on. But what also Amaya is doing here is kind of showing us that the drama with Belle-A is real, and the whole "you can't sit with us" energy is real.
So between that and now what we saw from last night's episode 4, where there's a clear divide between Bella, Gracelyn, Coco, and the other girls, I think it's safe to say the storyline is real. They're not cool, and they're still not cool.
So yeah, so when you have Iris unfollowing Belle-A, and you have Amaya trying to throw Belle-A under the bus, it really is showing us that there is a clique energy, and that they're not coming across as the baby faces in this show. They are the heels in this show. There's a heel faction right now on this show. And you know it's bad when all these TikTokers are now getting online and turning on Amaya.
Now, I wasn't really gonna do too much on Amaya, but when that rapping video comes out, girl, you're cooked. Because the double standard is crazy. Why do you have an issue with Baldasha, but you cannot give Jeremiah that same energy? I'm really asking these questions right now, because I want to know.
And that's been my question this whole time, is like, Jeremiah can be cool with the guys, and is it because he's a guy that he could be cool with the guys? But he's always hanging out with Brian, and that's fine with Amaya. But when Belle does it, suddenly it is a huge problem. Is that because Jeremiah actually has some popularity too, can get Amaya and the other girls some clout, and Belle can't because she wasn't on Love Island very long? That's what it seems like. That's why I called them the Clout Clique when I talked about the last 2 episodes in my review. And looking at these comments on TikTok, it's not good out there for Amaya. They're calling it out, but Jeremiah can be friends with everyone. They're calling when Hannah and Amaya were having a conversation about Belle in the episode. Someone commented, 2 dumb bitches telling each other exactly, which has 41,000 likes. Don't speak if you're going to disagree with my opinion, is calling them out for how stupid they sound in these episodes. And then someone brought up a point saying, mind you, Amaya did the exact same thing to Huda. And look, I'm not one to defend Huda because she gets on my last nerve with her toxic nature. But that is also true. She's right there hanging out with Jeremiah, who is Huda's ex from the show, where they did end on very bad terms. But like, God forbid anyone hang out with Brian. Then Amaya's mad about that. Just so much hypocrisy from Amaya here, and now it's turning her devout followers on other social media against her.
Amaya has responded to the whole backlash about her hating on Belle-A. And guys, it took me a lot to record that debrief because I felt bad that these girls that I like to follow and keep up with, they're being mean girls to Belle. But now Amaya responding and commenting, basically defending her actions and saying like, what would you do? I'm not in the wrong. Like, she's trying to be friends with my ex. Amaya, are we not watching the same show? Like, did you not watch that episode back? I don't think it was overly produced because it's been in multiple occasions and multiple of the girls have just been like not bothering to include Belle.
What we're seeing here is clearly Belle becoming the kind of, in a way, a much less popular version, but the Amaya of Beyond the Villa, because people feel bad for her because they see a group of people treating one person bad. Although there's more than one person, Grayson and Coco saying they feel that way too, but a lot of it on social media right now is at Belle, pointed at Belle, because you got Iris and Jeremiah unfollowing her, even though Jeremiah followed her back because it wasn't the popular thing to do. And now Amaya arguing about Belle in the comments.
And sometimes you get outcasted because you're not fake and immature like everyone else, which is exactly what's going on with Belle right now in Beyond the Villa. She didn't want to be messy. She didn't want to go ahead and sit there and just keep talking crap about Pepe and Brian. So that's why, Hannah and Iris think that she's weird or whatever. And then remember when she was on the couch and she was like, hey, I talked to Pepe and Brian, and Amaya and Iris just both gave each other that look.
And I just think this is very dumb of Amaya to do. Did she not learn why she became popular in the first place? Does she not understand why she won that season of Love Island? It's because people felt like you were being outcasted for being yourself, that too many people were being mean to Amaya. And then Amaya has the bright idea to go and join a clique that tries to have these agendas against Pepe and now against Belle, and that kind of stuff's not working. You're outcasting people, and that's how they get popular on TikTok, but that's what you're doing anyway. It's not bright, although I guess that's not surprising since Amaya listens to people who tell her that she should be a rapper, and then she's gonna go and probably embarrass herself with that too. Last thing I want to point out though, and I know this video is not about Iris necessarily, but I'm all for Iris catching a stray, because she responded to a comment on her social media, which was someone telling Iris that they're Team Belle. Iris responded with, "There's no teams, this isn't Twilight," which is more bullshit coming out of Iris, because there's clearly teams. You had Iris, Hannah, and Amaya on the same podcast, all trying to say that Pepe is this big liar, the big villain. There's clearly a clique on the show, so there are teams. Amaya wants people on the show to be Team Amaya and not Team Brian, or you're going to be outcasted via Belle. Iris is just so full of shit. It's why I made the video on that the other day, and that's why I'm making the video on Amaya today, because they're full of nonsense. They got to become the main characters this season. They weren't overshadowed by other people on Love Island getting villain edits or just actually being a villain. And now, even though they came into Beyond the Villa with an agenda trying to villainize others, people are seeing the clique for what it is. And there clearly are teams. That's why you're unfollowing people on social media. That's why you have Iris, Hannah, and I guess Amaya too trying to have the same opinions on social media to try and keep their team strong. But their team is down bad right now.